You might believe being kind is always good until you watch how someone talks to a waiter. Psychologist Carl Jung once said that our darker side doesn't always show up in big, awful acts. It hides in the quiet, unnoticed moments when no one stands to benefit. These are the times most people ignore, but your deeper mind still picks them up. What if how someone acts with a stranger, someone they don't need to impress, tells the real story about who they are? A sweet smile can hide something cold underneath. And once you catch a glimpse of that hidden side, it's impossible to ignore. It lingers, quietly, pulling at you, making you question what's real and who you're really dealing with. Why are people only nice when someone is watching? Have you ever seen someone act very friendly and respectful to a boss or an important person, but then snap, ignore, or act cold toward a server or cashier? That shift, however small, is revealing. It shows us something deep and uncomfortable. It makes us wonder, are they really kind or just pretending? And if we're honest, haven't we done the same? Maybe you felt annoyed at someone who needed your help, but couldn't give you anything back. Maybe your smile faded when you realized they weren't useful to you. This isn't about bad manners. It's about how genuine we really are. Real kindness doesn't disappear when no one's clapping. But many of us only feel generous when there's something to gain. Attention, approval, good karma. And that makes us question ourselves. Am I only a nice person when it's easy? Or do I still act with kindness when no one cares or notices? The scary part is, moments like these show us the real us. Not the version we post online, not the one we show our friends, but the side that slips out when we're tired, annoyed, or feel above someone. The small eye roll, the brush off, the silence. Carl Jung called this hidden part of ourselves the shadow. It's the side we try to hide because it doesn't fit the story we want to believe. But it doesn't go away. It shows up quietly in how we treat people who won't help our careers, won't boost our reputation, or can't put us in a better light. The waiter rule says you can tell who someone really is by how they treat a waiter. And not just waiters, anyone with no power over them. Why does that matter? Because most of us were taught, act nice, be polite, and you'll be liked. So we learn to behave, to perform kindness, like it's a game we have to win. That performance leads to building what Jung called the persona, a mask we wear, one that looks good, sounds sweet, and gets us what we want. But when we fake kindness long enough, the parts of us that feel tired, selfish, or cold don't vanish. They just hide deeper. Then we start to live in two pieces, the good version shown to the world and the frustrated version underneath. And over time, that gap hurts. It grows into quiet resentment, especially toward people we see as below us or who make us feel unseen. That's your shadow. And it's not evil. It's just your truth, buried and ignored. It comes out not with violence, but with little signs, the blank stare, the fake thanks, the look away. If you've ever asked, am I really kind? Or just afraid of not looking like a good person? You're not alone. That's your shadow knocking on the door. Now ask yourself, who are you? When kindness won't earn praise, when no one is giving you a gold star for being patient or wise or supportive. Who are you to the cleaner in the hallway? The fast food worker after midnight? The neighbor who can't do anything for you? If you only show love where you'll get something back, is that love? Or is it strategy? This is hard to face. We all want to be seen as caring and good. But image is not the same as truth. And when we treat kindness as a trade, when we only give warmth where it helps us, we're not being human. We're putting on a show. Think about it. Have you ever said thanks just to seem polite, while secretly feeling superior, bored, or fake? That's your mask working overtime. But the scariest part is, the person you fool the most is probably you. Real kindness comes without an audience, without a return, without credit. It shows up in the quiet places, especially when there's nothing to gain but self-respect. Now picture a mirror that doesn't show your face. It shows your true feelings when no one's looking. Not what you want people to praise, but what's really there. That's what the shadow invites you to look at. Not to make you feel bad, but to help you grow. You don't become more human by being flawless. You become human by being real, even the parts you hate. Even your anger, jealousy, coldness. They're not monsters. They're wounded, unheard pieces of you. Most of us think the opposite of kindness is hate. But really, it's calculation. The cure isn't smiling harder. It's being present. So next time you feel yourself slipping into politeness with no honesty, pause. Catch it. Breathe. Ask yourself, what would love do? Even right here. And if you feel unkind inside, it might not be cruelty. It might be pain. A pain that's begging to be seen, not buried. Soon, we'll talk about power, the force that exposes who we really are on the inside. But for now, listen to your quiet moments. That's where the truth lives. You believe that once you got the promotion, the praise, or the fancy title, life would feel easy and peaceful. But something feels off. Not in everyone else, in you. Maybe you're quicker to snap now. You talk over people, ignore advice, act like you know it all. You listen less. You feel colder in a way you never used to, but you don't stop yourself. People still smile when you enter the room, but look closer. Their smiles don't reach their eyes. They're careful around you now. And maybe, deep down, you know it. You think you're still the same person, but part of you wonders if success didn't just change you. It showed the real you. That thought lingers like a shadow. Maybe power hasn't made you worse. Maybe it's just taken off the mask. Carl Jung believed power doesn't make you someone new. It shows who you really were all along. When no one tells you no, when you don't fear judgment or punishment, the mask drops. And what shows up? Not growth, not grace, but the parts you've buried low, hidden anger, secret pride, the deep craving to control. What's truly scary? With success, it can all feel deserved. You slowly shift from I earned this to I am this. You stop listening. You give orders, expect loyalty, lose touch. That warmth inside, empathy, patience, it fades. Truth is, behind many powerful people, there's a hurt child hiding who never felt enough. And the higher you rise, the easier it gets to forget them, until they come out in ugly ways. Think of leaders who turn cruel, co-workers who change when they get a little control, or even yourself, when you had a moment of power and chose to hurt, not help. Power doesn't infect you, it unmasks you. And when we look past the success, who's really standing there? Ask yourself, when no one can question you, when no one stops you, who do you become? When you're praised so often that your own conscience goes quiet, what's left? It's easy to be kind when rules force you to. It's easy to be generous when others are watching. But what happens in private, where no one will ever find out? Do you still treat people with respect, or do you only care when there's something to gain? This isn't just about being a tyrant. It's about being real with yourself. Could it be that the applause silenced the part of you meant to keep you grounded? That the praise inflated the parts you wanted to hide? When you stop pretending and the lights are off, who's really in charge inside you? Maybe real strength isn't about how many people cheer for you, but how many parts of yourself you faced and made peace with. The scared part, the angry part, the insecure part. Maybe the best kind of leader isn't the one with the loudest voice, but the one brave enough to look inside and question who they've become. Because deep within you, there's something quieter, something watching. It isn't impressed by achievements. It doesn't care how powerful you look. It just wants truth. And if you truly pause and listen, it might whisper something haunting. Now that the world believes in you, do you believe in the person you've become? Maybe the version of yourself that puffed up with pride wasn't showing off, but hiding something small and scared within. The moment's coming when you'll have to look in the mirror and see not the image you worked hard to build, but the fear you tried so hard to cover. Have you ever noticed how someone changes right after they feel like they've got you? Maybe they acted loving until they felt safe, then became cold. Maybe it was a friend, a partner, a boss. What once felt kind now feels fake. What once felt close now feels calculated. You wonder if they ever really cared, or if they were just wearing a mask the whole time. Their compliments now sound like insults. Their warmth feels like a setup, and deep down, a horrible feeling starts to grow. Maybe they never really saw you at all. Maybe you were just part of their plan to feel important, loved, respected. And now that their goal is complete, they've dropped the act. You feel confused, used, and a little ashamed for trusting them. But you're not crazy. There's something real behind that gut feeling. Some people don't show you who they are until they think you can't leave. That's when you see the mask fall off, and what was hiding underneath can hurt. Carl Jung called it the persona, the fake self we build to survive the world. We don't make this mask to hurt people. We make it to be liked, to be safe, to belong somewhere. That smile you practice, that talent you flaunt, those polite answers, they're all pieces of the mask. But here's the danger. After wearing it so long, we forget we're even wearing it. It starts out as something we control, but after a while, it controls us. And underneath it, something dark grows. A hidden part of us, angry, scared, jealous, starts getting stronger. When we think no one's watching anymore, or when we finally get what we want, that hidden part slips out. The sweet person becomes distant. The helpful person becomes controlling. The confident leader becomes cruel. These changes aren't accidents. They're signs that the person has been hiding their pain, fear, or shame by pretending to be someone else. Instead of facing their own flaws, they blame others. A boss calls you lazy because he used to be. A partner tries to control you because she's scared of losing control. A fake healer tries to fix everyone else because he won't look at his own pain. This isn't just bad behavior. It's a way of avoiding the truth. But the problem is, people aren't blind. Eventually, they see that the mask doesn't match the person. And when that happens, everything falls apart. What part of you have you hidden for so long that you forgot it was even there? Who are you when you stop trying to be good, when no one is watching, when there's nothing left to earn? If everything people admire about you is just a role you play, then what's left when that role ends? Sometimes you feel it, like you're walking through life on autopilot. You say the right things, but they don't feel true. You give your love, but there are strings attached. You win, but it feels pointless. Deep inside, a small voice says, "This isn't the real me." But pulling off the mask is scary. What if the real you is weak, messy, not lovable? That fear keeps the act going, so you smile, you impress, you control, you point fingers. But when you're all alone, between the meetings and the scrolling, the question stings. Is this the life I chose? Or just the person I became so I wouldn't be left behind? When the mask falls off, something strange happens. At first, there's silence. No applause, no feedback, no role to play. Just you, raw and real. It can feel terrifying, or it can feel like peace. Some people run away, pretending even harder. Others break down and finally face themselves. That's when real life starts. Not when you've perfected your image, but when it collapses. When you stop pretending, stop blaming, stop performing. Something old wakes up inside you. Not shame, not fear, but freedom. And this time, it doesn't need anyone's approval. Deep down, you've always known who you were. That quiet part of you, the one that kept hiding, isn't your enemy. It's been trying to protect you all along. Soon you may finally meet the real you. Not the brave face, but the soul behind it. The mask you wear doesn't just cover your face. It stops the real you from ever showing up. It blocks the amazing person you were meant to become. Think about this. When no one's around, when there's no one to impress, who do you actually care about? Who do you treat with real kindness? If this made your heart race a little or made you feel something deep inside, don't let that feeling fade. Let it pull you further. Hit subscribe now. Start finding the real you before the person you could have been disappears forever.